Yeah, what's going on, guys? Today's art piece carries a message all of us can relate. Just be yourself. Stop pretending to be someone you're not. Pretending to be someone you're not is most often a response to an overwhelming feeling of insecurity with letting people see who you truly are. It's an attempt at overcoming what is misguided thinking that the real you is somehow not worthy, when in fact you're unique and no one else can be who you are. The best way to move forward is to become more comfortable with who you are and be yourself, become more confident and exposing the real world to you, and exposing the real you to the world, I mean. Pretending to be someone you're not can be an exhausting waste of all the amazing talents you alone have to offer to the world. And imagine what the world is missing, what piece of the world is missing from you. Let's talk about why do people pretend to be someone they are not. So, have you ever started pretending to be someone you're not? We've all experienced pressure to do just that. Sometimes it can be for positive reasons. For example, you probably had the advice to dress for the job you want. Maybe you're just trying on aspects of identity in an attempt to figure out who you are. Even the great philosophers, theologians, psychologists suggest that people are better at being themselves, as pointed out. Maybe it's an attempt to meet society's expectations about what you are supposed to look like and how you're supposed to behave based on your gender or other aspects of your identity. So ultimately, pretending to be someone you're not is lying to others and perhaps even to yourself about who you are. That's simply unsustainable, and it can lead to more insecurities, depression, and anxiety. Figuring out who you are and being true to yourself is integral to living a happy, fulfilling life. So, what are the benefits of being true to yourself? People who pretend to be someone they are not are often worried that the world won't accept them as they are. And if you're used to presenting a false persona, it may be difficult for you to imagine an accepting and welcoming world. Take a minute to think about how freeing it would be to stop pretending. What would you be able to do if you weren't worrying all the time about how people perceive you, to feel comfortable in your own skin? Do you want to build and sustain real genuine relationship? Well, that comes from being your genuine, authentic self. There are people out there who will accept you for who you are, flaws and all, but you can't find them until you accept yourself and let others see the real you. That takes me to another point. How do you stop trying to be someone you're not? It's something most of us have dreamed of at one point or another, wanting to be someone else, or at least have the life someone else has. In this age of social media, it's easier than ever to compare yourself with other people who seem to be much better off. Of course, we know that we only see a curated view of their lives, and yet we still can't help but wish for something we don't have. If you've been denying your true self for a while, it can be hard to start being yourself. But here are 4 things to practice as you work on being your authentic self. The first one is to accept your flaws. We all have flaws. Sometimes we try to escape them by being someone else, but we can't keep that up. No one is perfect, so if you want to stop pretending to be someone else, the best place to start is by working on accepting the reality of who you are. Of course, accepting your flaws doesn't mean that You can't work on them. We let ourselves know just enough to know that we don't want to know. Psychologists call it denial. So striving to be the best possible version of yourself is always a good goal, but it is essential to retain your authenticity along the way. Writing things down is an excellent way to find clarity. What are you insecure about? And what do you consider your flaws? Make a list and then take some time to consider each one. Do you really need the things that you don't have? What problems are your so-called flaws actually causing? And remember that being someone you're not won't change who you are. What is all this pretending costing you? If your flaws seem unsurmountable and you just don't know how to be happy as yourself, remember that you're not alone. No matter what you're going through, there are people out there dealing with similar issues and finding a way through. Talking to a mental health professional, finding an online group, or simply having a heart-to-heart with a close friend can help you see that you are not alone. The second way is loving yourself. While validation from others feels great, accepting and loving yourself is the real key to finding happiness in life. Having a solid support system in the form of friends and family is essential, but loving yourself will help you build and maintain those virtual relationships. A constant stream of self-criticism will wear you down. If you're telling yourself that your only option is to pretend to be someone else, of course, you'll criticize yourself when you can't do that, because none of us can. It's time to change that story. Take note of your accomplishments, no matter the size, and take a moment to practice gratitude. It's all too easy to only pay attention to the things we perceive as failure, ignoring all the things that we do achieve. If you take time to recognize your skill and everything you do each day, you'll begin to realize you, like yourself, have plenty to offer all on your own. The third way is to practice self-improvement. Once you've started to accept who you are, flaws, and love yourself for all you have to offer, you can start working on being the person you truly want to be. When you are uncertain of who you really are, you may end up tending to be someone who you are not. In the process of figuring that out, it may seem like a shortcut to model yourself off someone else, but you won't be happy with the results unless you take the time to develop your own taste and hobby. There's nothing wrong with drawing inspiration from others. If there is something you admire, take some time to write down what exactly it is about them that you like. Perhaps there's something about their personal style that you like, or they have a skill that you appreciate. If you want to try out a new look or learn a new skill, go for it. You don't have to become a carbon copy of someone else, but you can take inspiration from anywhere. 4. Keep your own counsel. If the people around you don't support you when you're being yourself, it's easy to end up pretending to be someone else to try to obtain their approval. It's only natural to feel disappointed when someone doesn't like you for one reason or the other. But it's important to remember that you can't please everyone, and it's up to you how much other people's opinions affect you. While often the pressure to look or act a certain way comes from our own insecurities, it can also be outside pressure. Societal expectations are placed on all of us, even from childhood, when certain colors, toys, and activities for girls and others for boys. While some people might rebel against these roles immediately, others feel the pressure to conform. It can be even more challenging when this pressure comes from family or friends. Sometimes pretending to be someone you're not is a matter of survival, and there's no fault in that, but it can make it harder to live authentically once you are on your own. Above all, if you are escaping a problematic situation, be kind to yourself and focus on accepting yourself for who you are, regardless of what others have said or done. Family and friends are essential, but they don't honestly care about you if they don't support you being yourself. One way to practice loving yourself is surrounding yourself with people who will love you for being yourself. What does it mean to be the real you? If you're not sure what it even means to be the real you, this might all seem impossible, but there's good news. It's not something you have to figure out all at once. If you feel like you are not living as your authentic self, you can begin to discover yourself bit by bit. With the steps we've discussed in this video, you can learn how to appreciate yourself and be true to yourself. As you learn to be more comfortable with being yourself, you'll see so many benefits. You begin attracting the kind of people you want in your life, people who appreciate who you are and can help you to be the best version of yourself, rather than pressuring you into being someone you're not. You'll discover what you love to do and your own personal sense of style, and you'll know how to find fulfillment and happiness in your life. Yeah, with that we come to the end, and I will appreciate it if you share what you think about this and the information in this video in the comment sections too. Your comment is highly appreciated,